Hey, can you repeat this prayer with me? Here I am, Lord. I lay it all down at your feet, and I repent of every sin that I've committed knowingly and unknowingly. Father, I truly need you. So I confess with my mouth that Jesus is Lord, and I believe in my heart that you raised him from the dead that I may be saved. And Father, I ask God that you will fill me up as I empty myself, and I ask that you will show me your ways. In Jesus' name, amen.
Welcome back to the channel. I am Mr. Mo, and today we have a special. I know y'all said, he said special all the time, whatever. I'm saying special again. Today we have a person that's going to save your life, number one. Person that's down to earth, number two. Loves God, loves his family, and also just an awesome man of God, man, and has so much wisdom that he's going to bring to y'all today that I guarantee you that you did not know. So in the comments, I want y'all to help me introduce my brother, my new brother.
That's right.
Mr. Corey, how you doing today?
I'm great, bro. Good to see you.
Good, man. First of all, I'm glad you stopped in, man.
I'm glad to be here. Glad I was invited in.
Hey, look, man, cause I'm like, I gotta get Corey on the show. I gotta get him on the show. I got to, because you have something that a lot of people need, and you have something that can change people's mindsets and then also change the way they think. And that is, we're going to get into life insurance. Somebody said, I might, no, don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Exactly why you're in the predicament that you're in. So, as we talk about life insurance, but before we get to that, we want to talk about your life. See, I did that.
That's very good.
It's good. See, segues. But we want to talk about your life first. Who is Corey before the life insurer? Who is this guy?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it again. I'm very blessed to be able to be here. Looking forward to talking to you and see if I can impart anything on anybody that it might be helpful. But yeah, Corey Lindsey. I'm actually a local State Farm agent in town. Been a State Farm agent here for about 21 years. Before I became an agent, I worked on the corporate side of State Farm. I did that for about 7 years in Atlanta before moving into the agency part of it. Originally from a small town in Florida called Chipley. It's a town that if you've ever gone to Panama City, you've probably gone through my hometown. But if you blink, then you're probably gonna miss it. But that's home for me. It's home for me. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Yes, I was born and raised there. From Chipley, went to college, East Tennessee State University.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, why in the world did I leave Florida to go to Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
And the main reason I tell people is because that's where I met my wife Tamisa. So we met in college, but the other reason was I played football there, so sports was a big part of my life growing up. And that was kind of how I got to go to Tennessee.
What position?
Wide receiver. Yeah, I wasn't.
Let's stop right there. You get back to this college life. You know what I'm saying? So college was your how was that? As far as I mean, you said you came from a place that you said you blink.
Yes.
You missed it.
Yes.
So how was that experience?
Oh man,
college?
It was great because even though I came from a small town, I had the foundation already established. I was raised in a household. My grandparents, my grandfather was a Baptist minister, been a minister that just recently retired from the ministry. So the foundation was put in me. So I knew that wherever I went, you know, as long as I kept my head on straight, I was going to be all right. So even though coming from a small town, you know, it didn't really faze me that much. The city that I went to where our college is located, it's about an hour north of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And it's like I said, it grew on me. I honestly didn't know that's where God was going to lead me because my plans were different. Coming out of high school, I originally had been recruited to play at Florida A&M.
Okay.
But East Tennessee State came through and offered me a scholarship to come play there. And like I said, did not know what it was going to lead me to. But again, it was a blessing to be able to go and experience college there. It's in the base of the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay.
But like I said, that's where I met my wife there, and from there we've come on here.
So what you said, like you was pretty good in football. Is that like?
I was okay. I was blessed. I wasn't that big, so I had to be pretty fast. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
speed had to play a
all
big part.
all that different other stuff.
That's it. It was definitely a blessing. Now, it took a lot of hard work,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't negate that. So, but it was, part of how I got to where I am now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll get more into how that led into what I'm doing now as far as my career goes.
Definitely. Let's shoot for it. Let's go.
Okay. Well, after I graduated from college, like I said, I was blessed to be able to play all 4 years there. And as like all college athletes, you have the goal of going on to play professionally. But that wasn't the plan. So after I finished my regular seasons playing, I was blessed to be able to play in an all-star game. So I was able to play in a college all-star game. Had a chance to play with some guys, and along the way that went on to play in the NFL and retired. As a son of the Hardest family. It's one of those where you do it, and I'm just thankful to be able to play along some guys that I watched throughout their careers, but that wasn't for me.
Any names that we know?
A few. I guess I'll name a couple. Not really trying to name drop, but Randy Moss, Terrell Owens.
Love name drops over here.
I've heard that.
Well, who?
But since I was asked, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, a lot of guys that
So you played with these dudes?
I played against them. Yeah, we played. I was in the same conference with them. Yeah.
Hey, that speaks volumes.
Yeah. It was an experience, and
so basically they know who you are.
No, I won't say they know me. They played the same position I did, so but even still, they didn't know me. They didn't know me.
Yeah, I was busting.
No. They would not know me.
Me and Corey meet you on the field right now.
No, they don't know me, but it was an honor. It was an honor. I was blessed.
Gotcha.
But after I graduated, one of the things that I was taught growing up, like I said, sports was a big part of what I did. But before that came, my mom was a single mom, and again raised by my grandparents in the same household. Education was preached, and so there was no sports without education.
Okay.
And so I knew going into school that I had to make sure that I got my degree. So that was the main focus. Again, sports was there, and it was the avenue that got me to be able to play, to continue to do something that I wanted to do. But education was the main thing, and that was always preached and taught, and that's I wouldn't trade that for anything. Now again, I will say this, having gone to college and seeing people make careers out of what they did in college, that's fine. My thing is hard work, regardless if you go to college or whatever your field is. It doesn't have to be school.
Yeah.
It's just making sure you got the foundation to want to get out and get it.
What Corey is saying, make sure you're doing something. Just don't be sitting at home on the couch being a potato. And I think that's such a valuable thing, because I think a lot of times that's what's missing in today's life.
Right.
The zeal to go after whatever you want.
Right.
And give it 100%.
That's right.
Not just one day, but day after day after day. Can you wake up day after day and still continue to perform at a high level?
Yes.
And that's what's missing. And to hear you say that, and I think that our young people nowadays, if they only got that part.
That's it, man. And it does come with challenges, and it does come with adversity, because like I said, yes, the glamorous side of it is, I was able to play in college and, had a career in college playing football. But the other side of it was having to hear, well, you're too small to play in college. Had my head coach in high school, that was what he told me. But it didn't hurt me. It motivated me.
You're too small to play.
He said, you know what? Football is probably not for you. Because I asked him going into my junior year in high school, and I said, Coach, I really want to, go and play college, and I feel like I can do it. And he said, well, Corey, he said, you probably won't be able to, he said, because of your size. I mean, he straight up told me this. Now, this guy had...
You got his name?
I got his name. I won't do it because I'm thankful for him. But the way God works things out is like that was going into my junior year. And he, made that comment, and I will never forget. And I tell my kids this, is that I need y'all to understand, that some people may see you a certain way or may think a certain way about you, but that's not God's plan for you. Yeah. But you have to turn that into something that can motivate you to keep pushing. So when he told me that, it hurt, but then I got to grinding. And so I had to start working harder and harder, because my point was to prove him wrong. And the way God works things out is that was going into my junior year. Well, I did not know this, but he was on his way out. So he retired. And we had a new coach that came in who, my senior year, his mindset was not of that. He was like, nah, you can do it. Gotcha. So he put me in a position to where I got more exposure. And like I said, it led me to be able to get a scholarship, whereas I had a coach who told me before that wasn't possible.
Which is interesting, because that could have TiVo'd you.
Yeah.
Like, you could have just been like, which 9 to 19, now I go back and think, how many other kids did he say that to?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was just like,
that was it. And that was, to him, that's just what he thought. And again, I appreciate it now, because that's just what he thought, but it helped me to as they say, lock in now. Lock in now, because then it was, I wasn't expecting that. I totally wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to give me a path and just tell me, well, Corey,
that's what I was going to say. Like, hey, you're too small, but let's work on.
It was like, this is probably not going to work for you, so let's not focus on that. Let's just try to make sure you have a good year this year. And that was not my mindset, was to settle for something that I felt like I could do. I mean, my heart was bigger than my height. So
I understand that.
But that was that. And but again, the adversity comes with life, and there's challenges that come. It was that was a wake up call, but a good wake up call for me.
Definitely.
And so from there, then got my degree and started working with State Farm right after I graduated from college. Had a degree in corporate finance. Insurance was not something that I was thinking about doing. But I had a friend of mine who started with the company right after he graduated. And he said, well, Corey, you need to take a look at State Farm. So I did. And like I said, 21 years as an agent, 7 years on the corporate side. So 28 years later, I'm still doing it.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a company, as most companies are. I mean, it's got its challenges, and but I don't knock it. I enjoy what I do. And so the football part established a lot of how I translate into the career now that I have is the work ethic. And just creating, the environment in my office of the environment that I experienced in college and playing sports. And that's the mindset of, you got to get up, and work and give 100%.
Definitely.
You got to do it.
I think you're just hearing your story just from that short point from a small town. Then somebody said, okay, well, look, you're too small. But it sounded like you always thought big, though.
Yeah, had to, yeah.
And I think that the thing that people can grab is that people's opinion is not your final decision. It shouldn't be your final decision.
Exactly.
Like, I've had a lot of people say, man, you stupid, you this and this. And I think the initial hearing it is always a shock, because you always look for people to be like, no, that's okay, get up. You can do this. Yeah. But when you hear that, it's kind of like, oh, wow. But then you say he got fired. So obviously he didn't make it. Yeah. That was a shot.
That. You get stuff like this.
Don't come from no boy. Nah.
Oh man, I could have been fit.
But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be petty for you. So thank you. All right, now we're into the life insurance.
Right. So after I graduated from college, started with State Farm, and came to Columbus to open the agency. When I was working on the corporate side with State Farm, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Insurance is one of those topics that we don't like to talk about. Specifically, life insurance is not something that is fun, glamorous, or anything like that.
Why is that?
But it's something because most of our people don't understand it. and it's lack of knowledge.
Got you.
And I, again, speaking specifically for me. So the reason I got into agency, to the State Farm agent role is when I was working on the corporate side, right? I didn't really know what I wanted to do long term, but I knew I had a long term goal of doing something. I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Well, true story, and just kind of telling my age a little bit, but in 1999, me and my wife, in 1 year, we lost 9 people in a 1 year time frame that were close to us, and the ages range from 24 years old to 90 years old in 1 year. I mean, it was every month we were going to a funeral.
Yeah.
And it was like, dreading getting the phone call because you wonder, who is it this time?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about, dying of natural causes to tragic deaths,
Gotcha.
all in 1 year. And somebody asked me at one of the funerals that I was at, one of my family members, I overheard them talking about life insurance and if this person had it or not. Well, again, at the time, I didn't understand life insurance at that point. Even though I was working in insurance, I didn't understand that part of it.
Gotcha.
The only thing that I knew, and many of our families probably know this, is that growing up as a kid, there was a man that would come to the house every other Saturday, and he would collect a check and from my grandparents, and I just knew he was the insurance man.
Got you. Okay.
Didn't know what he was doing, didn't know what his role was, but as a kid, that's just what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people that I mentioned that died that was 90 years old was my great-grandmother. And I remember my grandmother paying for a policy for her.
Mm-hmm.
When she passed away, that man who used to come by the house, he had passed away too. The company that he worked for was no longer around, so there was no policy in place.
Oh.
So now we had to pitch in to help pay for funeral costs. And I imagine there's somebody else out there that this has happened to.
I guarantee you.
So that's, that triggered something in me to feel like, okay, well, I know this man came by the house and I know we were paying for a policy. Why is it not there?
Yeah.
And as that happened, then I start hearing more and more people who didn't have life insurance when it came time to bury a loved one. So that was in 1999. So after that year passed, then I start thinking, all right, that's when it hit me, like, this is what I need to do. And that's why I got into agency. And that is because I was hearing too many people not know, either they didn't have anything or they thought they had something and it wasn't accurate. And so that's what prompted me to get into agency. So that is, we talked a little bit earlier about my why.
Yeah.
That is my why, that this is so important to me. And I tell people all the time, yes, I'm a State Farm agent, but when it comes to life insurance or any insurance in general, I just feel like there's so many people who just don't get the information. And so that's why I'm just open to just share information as I can get it now. I can't speak for or against another company, but just general information.
Gotcha.
I do that all day long. And that's what I have a passion about. And in my office, my team, they know when it comes time to have a life insurance conversation that we don't take that for granted.
Gotcha.
Because it's that important to us, because, we'll talk more about it. But now that I'm on this side of it and where I see the impact that it has on families when there isn't anything in place. Listen, GoFundMe is a great thing. It is. I don't knock it. Matter of fact, I have contributed to GoFundMe, but you don't want that to be your only source to take care of a loved one when they pass away. And I have, plenty of stories that I share with people, the objections that I get. And I welcome those because it gives me a chance to explain it. And again, it's just me giving you information. What you do with it is on you. Yeah. But just the information, hopefully will help. But I see too many times to where I have families that come to me that don't have anything and they thought that they did. And it's painful to have to tell them that, well, we were trying to set something up, but he or she decided they wanted to wait. And then they pass away during that time period of waiting. And so that's painful to me because I take that personal, because that's where I feel like my role is to help guide families through something that they may not be prepared for. And it doesn't take away the pain and the sting of losing a loved one, but I know that there are costs that when that person passes away, there are going to be expenses that life insurance does help.
Yeah.
It does help.
And I think that I remember I was in a situation with a female long time ago, before my beautiful wife. Well,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Good.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
But her grandma had passed, right?
Mm.
She just so happened to have life insurance. Like, she had a lot of stuff set up, but then it came down to the fact that we didn't know where everything was. Like, so we got the house, right? So, and then as we're in this house and different other stuff like this, we come to find out, oh yeah, y'all gotta pay property taxes. But this is the ignorance of not really knowing. After somebody dies, it's always the scrap. Who gets this? Who gets that? I don't care what nobody say. That's I don't know why that's a big thing, but it's kind of like you got stuff and people been eyeballing your stuff as you alive. Yeah. I remember my son like, I'm gonna get that threat as soon as Dad out here. It's mine.
See, I didn't say anything.
Dibs.
And make a note of that, man.
You know what I'm saying? But it's one of these things that nobody wants to talk about death. But death is every day.
It is.
You just said that you lost how many?
9.
9.
1 year.
In 1 year.
1 year.
And to me, I know with COVID, we lost so many different people. I can only imagine.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those GoFundMe, I have nothing against GoFundMe, but I also believe in taking care of it now.
Yes.
If you can get it taken care of now, because I see a lot of people around here. Okay, let's get into the typical payments. Because somebody like, well, if I cost like $5,000 a month or something like that, whatever. I mean, then they walk around here with Jordans on. I'm venting. Bring it back. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. I got a little razzle dazzle there. Pull it back. Go ahead. But
you call it though.
Go ahead.
You go yeah.
Starter. Get us a starter kit.
That's and it really is based on your age. And what I say is, I have people that come in and tell me they want X amount of life insurance, and some tell me I don't want that much. And to me, I cater a package to what fits a person's lifestyle. I'm the type, I don't care what you get as long as you have something, but I don't believe in paying for something that you actually don't need. So there's a process that I go through, a series of questions that I ask to help determine how much you actually need. Okay. So we come up with a number that you tell me in our conversation, this is how much you need. And we have and it's a path that has your name on and what you need. So now we eat away at that. So if that number looks too big for you, that's fine. Eat away at it. You can always, get to that number at some point. Gotcha. But the best thing to do is to start. And the earlier you start, the better. So people ask me, well, why should I start early? Well, a couple of things. One is life insurance is cheapest when you're younger. And not only that is you may not have developed a health concern at that point when you're younger. Health does play a role in your insurability.
How much?
Plays a big role. And it can determine if you're eligible or not. But it can also determine if you may be eligible, but they may have to charge you more because of if you have a health condition. So that's why it's best, in my opinion, to start early. Give an example. Just for my kids, I have a 15-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old daughter. And the time that you can start a policy is when someone is 15 days old. So an infant that's 15 days old, you can start. My kids both had policies on the day that they turned 15 days old because that's the cheapest it's going to ever be for them. Yeah. And they don't have any health concerns there. Yeah. So that's the part of setting them up. And it's, you get into different types of policies, which could be, we can have a different conversation about that, but there are different types. But, the main thing to me is just to set up a plan that's best for you and your family.
See, you just really put up like that. See, even my phone get it. Even my phone. that right there is 15 days old.
Yep. Now, and that's it's been that way as long as I've been in age. I don't think they've changed that.
Mm-hmm.
My knowledge hasn't changed it, but the point is, as early as you can get it, that's when you should start. And and don't get me wrong, I'm not insensitive to the fact of knowing that we're talking about, when your child passes away. It's not a fun conversation to have, but you want to think of it this way, as this is something that's established in them for years to come. Not that you expect anything to happen to them right now when they're young, but when they're older, they can hold on to this policy and keep it at the premium that you're paying now at their current age for the rest of their life in some cases. And that's a different type of policy that you can have that can stay with them for the rest of their life. And it doesn't matter if their health changes, because once you're locked in,
they're in there.
You're in, as long as that policy doesn't cancel. Let me say that. So you got to continue to pay it. But you're rated based on your current age and your current health. And once that is established, then that's how it'll go.
Corey, you are I'm blown away already just by the 15 days thing. Cause I've always heard, always thought, always I'm ignorant just like y'all. So that you had to be like, I was always thinking like life insurance, you give me like 60-50. I'm like, yeah, that's in the time, because you up there. You more closer than I am. So, but to know that you can get life insurance 15 days old, I think, and I only think like, if you get it at that 15 days old, how would it look once that person is 56?
Yes. So now we're talking about the different types of policy. What you're talking about, how it's going to look. And what you're referring to is their permanent policies that this is the way I look at it, is you're helping your family to establish or accumulate wealth over time in policies.
So you said something.
Accumulating wealth. Again, let me just back up and say this. Corey hadn't always known this. This is something that I have learned over the years of how policies work. Because, like you, Mo, I thought I was invincible. Why do I need life insurance?
Right.
I mean, my first policy I didn't get it when I was obviously 15 days old, but my first policy that I got was when I had just started with State Farm on the corporate side. And it was my friend who got in the agency who encouraged me to even look at State Farm. He was the one that sold the policy to me. And at the time I was single. Me and my wife weren't married. And I'm like, I don't need life insurance. I'm 21 years old, 22 years old. And he was like, yeah, you do need it. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. And I'm like, why do I need it? He said, because are you planning to ever get married? It's like, yeah. He said, well, wouldn't you want to have something in place now that you're paying cheaper for? So when you do get married, if something were to happen to you, you will have already established a policy for your wife. And honestly, the first question I asked was, okay, man, you got me. How much is it going to cost? So I didn't try to understand what it was that I got. I was like, all right, I just want to get off the phone with him. So when I got in the agency, and after that happened to, for me, seeing how in 1999, going through what I went through, then it hit me of how important it was. It wasn't important to me then when my friend was selling it to me, but that was prior to 1999.
Gotcha.
When 1999 hit, that's when I started learning more and educating myself more on the real meaning behind it. So long story short, there are policies for everybody. And it really is just a matter of trying to figure out what's best for you in your situation. And that's the critical part of just understanding that, hey, this is not something that you want to get. And, let me back up a little bit too. I get asked a lot of times too about getting a lot of life insurance, and that's okay. But a big question that I ask is, what is your budget? That is the thing for me that's important. I want to know that if things get tight, that you're not going to look at your life insurance policy as something that you just want to kind of stop paying on. This needs to be something that okay, cool, I'm good. I can continue paying this even when times get tight, because you know that the importance behind it is that not that you haven't, a huge amount, having something in place.
Yeah.
And that something is what's going to fit within your budget, not anybody else's budget. What's comfortable for you to be like, all right, I can continue paying this if things kind of get tight at some point.
So you got a policy that can fit all budgets, what it sounds like.
Yes.
Majority.
Yes. For the majority of it. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying if you're wearing Jordans, it's a pretty good budget.
Well, we have to have a conversation of what that budget is. And then we can decide, then we try to put a policy in place for you that fits.
I know a lot of people say too, you know what I'm saying, why am I paying life insurance? I can't use it now. Because that's always a selfish thing. Because, I can't use it now. Mm-hmm. But I've heard stories and cases where you can take a life insurance and use the way you want to use it even now and still make it do what it does as far as stretch and different other stuff like that.
Very good point. And yes, you're right. I get that a lot too. It's like, why do I want to leave this? And I'm not going to be here. Well, there are policies that...
Which is selfish within itself. But, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That's here and there.
Yeah.
But
that's a different conversation that I do have one-on-one with people that give me that objection. And my first thing that I think of, okay, if you have family, you've got kids, you've got your spouse,
mm-hmm.
why would you want to leave, something to them, leave a debt or a burden to them, even though you're gone?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. You got to think about that. But there are policies that you can use them while you're living because they accumulate cash. Now, here's my disclaimer now.
Hold up. So somebody got closer. Hold up. Let me tell you, he said cash.
Yes, they are cash value policies. Now, keep in mind, the main purpose of your life insurance is for the death benefit. Mm-hmm. Let me say that is for your family when you pass away. Now, there are policies that will accumulate cash within them that you can use while you're living, that you will still be able to have the death benefit plus the cash that grows into it, but you want to have it. And people ask me, is that just money to me that I ever have to pay it back? Yeah, it's considered a loan against your policy, but as long as you're paying back into it and paying that what you take out, then the policy should continue. And there are, again, different options within those plans.
Any bank though, honestly.
But there is a phrase now that is out there that becoming your own bank or using your life insurance.
Come on now.
Now, there are ways to do it. You have to be careful with it. And that's something that, when I look at a person's individual situation, mm-hmm. and just making sure you understand that this policy's purpose is the death benefit. Mm-hmm. But you can use those funds in ways that, people do view them as being their own bank. I don't really tell them that, but it is a way that you can use the cash while you're living.
We have to get into the hacks of life insurance.
Yeah, there's some. You want to make sure you understand it.
Yeah,
definitely understand what you're getting, and that you understand, when you take the money out and how it works for you, mm-hmm. Because you don't want to jeopardize your policy. But there are ways that yes, you can use. Again, this is stuff that I didn't learn, man, until I had been an agent for some years, and I start seeing, some other agents, and I start listening to them. Mm-hmm. And that's how they were using their policies to accumulate cash in it. Because it does grow. You just have to understand what you're doing with it and just be careful with it when you do it. But to answer the question, yes, you can get policies that you can use while you're living.
I would rather invest into something that can be beneficial now and beneficial later. Mm. And I know people, they gotta have the monetary things now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think people really think about, let me make sure my sons and daughters, and that they'll have to worry about when I do leave, mm-hmm. that, and that depends on what kind of a person that you are.
Yes.
That you would say, because if you're a real good person and you were the main breadwinner, which means you're leaving a nice size hole within that whole thing, especially financial.
Absolutely.
And they're left to fend now, and you hear countless of stories. Now the mom got to pick up 45 different jobs, or the dad got to pick up 67 different jobs. Why not have this in the place? And I think the information that we are getting now, and I don't want all the listeners that are, a part of this channel, do not take this for granted, because it is a lot of people out here that, like, you hear people coming and going every day.
Yes. Trust me. It's
whether it's tragic, whether it's health. I mean, it's crazy.
Yes.
And it's that, death doesn't have an age.
No, it doesn't. And like I said, and the thing that I try to share with my customers and is, I'm not telling you something that I haven't gone through. Even, as recent as probably 2 or 3 years ago, I had a family member who passed away tragically. Here's a situation that I run into a lot, and this happened to me personally. So I have a husband and a wife, my cousins, and usually in a lot of cases, the husband is the breadwinner. And in this case, that was the case to my cousin. So he had life insurance on himself, but he didn't have anything on his wife. And to be honest with you, women, they outlive us a bit. So, they do. So but in this case,
competition, I told my wife, I'm out.
Hey, that's right. I want to see as many years as I can.
Yeah.
But he has a job change, and he kept his life. Well, he actually purchased a life policy years prior, but when he had a job change, he decided to just keep it on himself and not get one on his wife. His wife died in her sleep.
Get out of here.
My cousin. So there was no policy in place. And I get a phone call and say, look, we've got to help out.
Ooh.
And so, yes, we had to, the family had to pitch in again. So it's one of those where, but he did that for that was his budget. And he just felt like it was going to be him. He felt like he needed to take care of himself, and which I get that.
Yeah.
But with the things, we just don't know. And we all have to make budgeting decisions.
Yeah.
And you just have to do what's best for your situation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hated it for him, but I know in his heart he was doing what he felt like was best for him, and that was what he could do at the time. So that's why I say, this is, it happens to everybody. So I don't want anybody to feel like, you're behind with doing this. But, if you don't hear anything else that I say, is just think about it, and just think about your own situation. And just, if you feel like you need something, do something that's going to, fit within your budget.
Yeah.
And that's going to benefit your family, because we all going to leave here at some point. Now, I ain't trying to go nowhere now, but I know that for me, and this is the way I look at it, if something happens to me and I don't make it home, I don't want my wife and my 2 daughters to have to worry about if they're going to still have a place to stay or not. I don't want my wife to have to worry about if she's got to pick up another job, because that's a part of being, for me, the responsibility that I carry as being the husband and being a dad.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility. Again, nobody may see it the way I do. That's just me.
A lot of men need to start seeing it that way, because I think we are taking this life for granted, and that on top of taking it for granted, we don't know that what we do affects those who are connected to us.
Yeah. Again, I'll give y'all another example, sharing this with you. True story. I've had a couple situations where God saved me, and it could have went, a completely different way. So, personal story. A few years ago, I was coming back from a trip in Miami. I had come back home. Had flown into Atlanta. I was driving back home, and I was on the phone with Tamisha, and I was asking her, like, what do you want to eat? And this was a
couple conversation.
Yes. I was 15 minutes from the house. I mean, everything was going fine. I was like, hey, okay, cool. I'll be home in a little bit. And I talked about this, my faith, and I know that God speaks.
Yeah.
Well, this particular time, I heard him speak to me. And when I heard him speak, was him telling me, Corey, wake up. I had fallen asleep at the wheel. And I heard, and it wasn't loud. It was just a very calm voice said, Corey, wake up. So I opened my eyes, and I'm heading head first into a guardrail in the middle of the road. And immediately I turned my steering wheel enough so that I didn't hit head on, but it hit the side of my door. Okay, so now I'm thinking, all right, well, cool. I just hit the guardrail. Let me try to get control of the car. My back tire blew out. So now I'm spinning across 185. Airbags have deployed. I can't see. So I'm steering backwards across 185, and I end up on the side of the road. I get out of the car, no scratch, nothing at all. I called Tamisa. I said, look, I just had an accident. So I need you to come pick me up. So then I called 911. The cop came to me, and he said, well, I can see what happened. He said, but let's do something. He said, I'm gonna give you an experiment. He said, let's do an experiment. He said, when I first came and I saw you on the side of the road, I thought I was actually going to be calling the morgue, because while we were standing there, there were 5 to 10 semis that passed by while we were standing there talking.
Yeah.
And so he was like, look, this could have been a lot worse than what it is now. And he said, so you were spared. And I truly was. So when it hit me, when Tamisa, which is my wife, Tamisa, and Layla at the time, my daughter, she was about 4 or 5 years old.
Gotcha.
And so they came, and as they were pulling up, and I'm on the side of the road, my car is all damaged, the tow truck is picking it up, and it came over me like, yo, I could have been gone. Just that quick. And I know that's my story, and I know everybody has stories like that. That that we've been spared.
Yeah.
But that was one for me that, I really thought that was it, and so it just.
And even for the cop to say that too.
Cop to say it, yeah.
9 times out of 10, he's seen it.
He has, and again, that's why I say it's that important, because just like that, I could have been gone. And what was she going to do? Now she's a single mom. And would I have, going back to me and the life insurance part, I was thankful that I had, got policies in place.
Gotcha.
That she wouldn't have had that burden. Yes, it wouldn't have replaced me, but it would have helped. And again, it's a subject, I'm going to stress this again. I know it's not something that we're comfortable with talking about, and I don't enjoy it. Because it's painful to have to experience that, of having to deliver what I consider a death check to a family. But, it puts it into perspective whenever, you go through something yourself and you're able to witness, how that happens, and how it does help the family to move on.
Yeah.
Just by having something in place. I guess that's just a story.
After that tragedy, I think death is such I asked my wife, like, death is such a final thing.
Yeah, man.
Like it's literally, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing of missing your loved one.
Yes.
But I know for a fact, to have something that is going to hold you up in the midst of everything, like life insurance, while that loved one is gone, it helps.
It does.
Because I've seen it without it, and I've seen what it does to families.
Yes, yeah.
I've seen what it do to people, because you got to fend for this bill collector's cost.
Yeah.
That like it get crazy.
Oh yes, it does. It does.
So I can only imagine if having everything in place after I'm gone. Everything is in place. Kids taken care of. Look, guys, stuff is like right now. I think for my kids, I have stocks for my kids right now.
Yeah.
Just, and I've always told them, like, look, I do stocks for y'all. I have stocks for y'all. Like that way that, when I'm going, look, y'all just keep it going.
There you go.
Now with life insurance, we gonna do the same thing. Look, we're not just gonna be on here talking. We're gonna get even furthermore, as far as for me, I know for me, I don't want to leave my kids like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave nobody like here, especially.
Yeah.
Although, I told my wife, it's a competition. Like, because, and the reason being because women, they do outlive us.
Yes.
But on this side of the track, in this house, my thing is to outlive my wife.
There you go.
I've seen too many women have to shoulder We carry that.
Come on now. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen it so many different times. A lot of strong men dying.
Yes.
At an early age.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, and I look at that, I've seen a lot of men, powerful men.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've admired them from afar, and I've talked to them. They've been mentors to me, but at the end of the day, they've left.
Yeah.
And then I look at that wife that they had, and she's barely hanging on.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I try, like, my thing is to be healthy, stay healthy. Not saying that being healthy is going to miraculously stop you from tragedy, because it's not. Tragedy is what tragedy is.
Exactly.
But for me, I've really locked in on my health. You know, I say health is wealth.
That's it.
Life insurance is wealth too.
That's it.
And we got to start looking at it that way.
That's it. And that's a part of the portfolio too. Stocks, other investments. Yes, do those things. Life insurance, add that as a part of it, because it's that important to leaving a legacy. And, you know, we've talked about that side of it, the death side of it. But look at it this way, especially when you're talking about you leaving something for your kids, it's helping them to establish, you know, wealth for their kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, while they're growing, you're teaching them, okay, this is what you need to do as far as helping your generation, you know, your kids will, you know, so getting that foundation established.
Definitely.
And understanding is, to me, that's important.
I just believe in it. If you want change, you want to see things different, you got to do something different.
That's right. That's right.
Obviously, not getting life insurance haven't helped.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's yeah.
I don't care nobody says it's not helpful. I'm not an agent. He's an agent. I'm not an agent. But I'm telling you that, look, this life insurance is more important than the latest fashion wear, the latest of anything. If you really care about your loved ones, this is the step. At first, I didn't understand. I was ignorant to it too. I was just like, man.
Like you said, me too, man.
Until I started hearing these wealthy people talk about this stuff, life insurance. Like, I started perking up.
Yeah, because they've been doing it.
They've been doing it for years.
They've been doing it. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Warren Buffett. I think I shared Warren Buffett talk about it. I've heard many when I start looking at them talk about it, then I say, okay, it's been talked about. We're just not listening.
If you get a chance to, and I mean, if you can ever look at like Warren Buffett and a lot of these people that if you can ever look at their assets and liabilities, right, on their balance sheet, there's going to be a portion, in many of them, it's going to be a portion that says cash value life insurance as a part of their assets. And because most of them, they understand it. And that's the part for me, and not saying, you know, everybody's going to be Warren Buffett, and hopefully you'll get to that point. But, you know, just having the information to help you make a decision. Like I said, from my family, nobody was telling us this stuff. When I grew up, man, wasn't nobody schooling us like this.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important, you know, in what I do for my day-to-day, you know, career, is just sharing the information and letting, you know, giving you information that if you didn't know, that this is something that you can digest and make a decision, whatever that might be, you know, do it or not, but just as long as you got the information. I'd rather you have the information and then make a decision than not know and you're like, oh man, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm, again, just thankful and appreciative of this opportunity to talk and share it.
It is our honor and our pleasure, because at the end of the day, this when they're talking about life insurance, there's something that's happening every day.
Yeah.
People coming and going. People coming and going.
True.
It's literally like a revolving door. The thing is, the door now is more faster. I feel like it's like more faster. It was like, I just had a situation even back home, and my uncle was involved in a hit and run. You know, but right now he's still yet holding on. He's in a coma, but ultimately I'm thinking,
oh man, we'll be praying for him for sure. We'll be praying for him for sure.
Definitely, I'm thinking about life insurance. Like, does he have life insurance? Like, that's my thought pattern. Is is he set up? Because I don't want to get the call. We got to pitch in.
Yep.
when we all should have been all like what you need. Like I think we all should be like, okay, what you need to your budget. What is it?
Yeah.
Like move some stuff around. That's me. Like I'm at that state now where I'm like, let's move some stuff around. Cause I guarantee you, if you do your budget, if you run through your budget, you're gonna look at that guy and be like, I got an extra $400. Oh,
there you go. And that's it right there though. It's just being able to, in my opinion, prioritize it.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking for me, that just wasn't, and I run into this a lot. It's just not a priority for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's because they just don't know, so that's why, again, it's just important to share the information.
Gotcha.
It is.
So for the person that is on the edge of their seat, they're like, look, you got me with the cash value thing. I'm listed now.
Mm.
So what can we say to that person to actually push them over the ledge? Okay. Let's use it.
We'll push them over the ledge.
Do word. Blue sense. What can we do to encourage them to begin to pursue life insurance?
The first thing that I would say is just if it's a thought that you have right now, ask some questions. If you have an insurance agent right now, a life insurance agent, and you're not sure what you have, I recommend going and talking to that representative or the agent, whoever you have, and just ask them, number one, you want to do a review as often as you can. You got to do it every year. But I typically do a review with my clients or my customers every 2 years at least, to review their life insurance, just to see if anything has changed. If you've had, that's another big thing too, is that when you have a life-changing event, that's when you need to evaluate your situation to see if you need more, or if you don't need anything, everything is cool. But just having a conversation with the representative that has your policy, to ask the question, okay, is there something, if I want to have a cash value policy, is that something that this representative offers? If it is, have them to give you some information, run some illustrations, and just ask the question. That's the first thing to do. That if something that we have said today, if you didn't know it, if you're curious about it, I would just say, whoever has your life insurance right now, just go ask them about it, and they'll be happy to discuss it. They should be happy to discuss it with you. And if you don't have a cash value policy and you're curious about it and it's something you want to look into, just have them to talk to you about it and run some options for you. That would be the first thing that I would do, is just ask. Yeah.
Now I know people talk about multiple life insurance. What's your stance on that?
Good question. I have multiple policies. I have no problem with getting more than one. Some people like, let me back up. The two main types of policies are term policies and what we say permanent policies. Under the permanent category, it's like a whole life policy, a universal life policy. Those are considered permanent plans. And then there's term. To me, both have their place in a person's, when I say insurance portfolio, I don't think there's one worse than the other. Again, as long as you got something. Yeah. But, term policies tend to be a little bit cheaper. So you're basically getting a policy for a certain amount of years.
Gotcha.
Nothing wrong with that. The only thing about term policies is that you want to really stay in touch with your agent, because those policies, you can actually outlive them. So give an example. If you do a 20-year term plan, after 20 years, you're still living and you still have a need for life insurance, then you have basically outlived that policy. So just sometime and this is what I tell my customers, that if we have, and just as an example, if we have a 20-year term plan, we're going to probably start talking around year 12 or 15 within that policy period to see if we need to make some adjustments before you outlive it. And when I say outlive it, after that 20 years, if you decide to keep that same policy, the premium is going to go up, and it's going to go up quite a bit more than what you were paying in most cases. And on the other side, permanent policies, cash value policies, you pay a little bit more for them up front, but you'll keep those, for the rest of your life as long as you pay the premium on it.
Got you.
But again, that's something that you want to get, probably have a little bit more conversation about those different types and how it each one of them may play into your plan. But yes, you can have multiple plans. And I like to use myself as an example. So if you have a mortgage, or if you've got credit card debt, you got car note, or things like that, and you're looking to get something, but to keep it within a budget that you're comfortable with, term policies work great for those, because you can get a lot of life insurance in a term plan. And the premium is not as expensive as if it is permanent policies. But just long term, you just want to consider that, that you have to just kind of be not be careful, but just know that in 20 years or 30 years or 10 years, that you need to make a decision to probably shift it to something else.
Gotcha. You have really opened up a can of worms with it. But no. Well, say don't worry. Those who watch us, y'all know what we stand for. Y'all know what we are about. And bringing you information like this, you don't hear on the daily. And broken down the way that is being broken down to you. This can be put no simpler, because you can't say you didn't hear it. Now the thing is, are you going to do it? And we are going to actually leave all of your information in the description below, so that they can contact you. All the other agents, y'all lost out. You lost out. You had a chance. I mean, you did, because I don't know you. But at the end of the day, so Corey, I'm glad you stopped.
Appreciate it.
I know this will not be the last one. We got to have you on as far
come back
with some other stuff. We love to hear more about, family stuff, relationship stuff. I'm sure your wealth of knowledge when it comes to life experience. Especially going to college. I've never been to college. I tell people I've been to college, but I ain't never been to college. I've been to the college party, but I wasn't part of the college campus. But with that experience, experience has a voice. Experience has ways of giving people different ways out. So I'm looking forward to having you. This will not be your last time. So y'all be seeing Corey again. And like you always say around about this time, keep God first. And the rest will be added. I'm Mr. Mo.
I'm Corey Lindsey.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Take care of your life.
I don't pop the molly or cocaine, but that's me though. I'ma trust in God till I die for real, but that's me though.